And here she is, Ashika, all the way from Canada. How are you, beautiful?
I am so excited, Anu. I'm doing fabulous. I'm doing fabulous. I'm so excited to be here in your space with you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I mean, for the listeners and watchers out there, me and Ashika, we've been social media buddies for, I don't know, most part of this year. And I just love Ashika's energy on social media. She's now launched a book, and I was just so excited to have you on to come and share your inspiration with my listeners. So thank you.
Oh, thank you for having me. I love connecting with other women that are inspiring and lifting others as a collective. We're so much stronger together.
We are, absolutely. And yeah, we know we're the change makers. We're out there to be that change, right? Wow. I know, but your history, your journey to from where you are to where you are today, it's really inspiring. And I can't wait for you to share that with us.
Oh my God. Like I said, I'm an open book. So, and anything, that can, that can help others really understand a woman's journey and the struggle, the ups and the downs, and also all the beauty of it all falling into place. Cause we always think of things falling apart.
Yeah, you're right. We do,
right?
Don't we? Yeah.
We always think of things falling apart. And when you have that mindset shift, you start to think, okay, how am I going to make this fall into place?
Wow, I love that. Yeah, you're right, because everybody's going on about, relationship breakdowns and I lost my job. And yeah, it's so kind of doom and gloom. You're right. But we don't ever talk about when we've got our SHIT together, right?
yes, exactly. And we have to celebrate that. And I remember I did this post. I think I did it on Facebook too. And it was just about how we need to celebrate our wins. We just have to get used to it, because it's so uncomfortable, because we're always taught to praise others, and that's such a beautiful way to live. But we also have to praise ourselves as well. Something like a pat on the back, like, you know what, you're doing okay.
We forget about ourselves. Oh my goodness, you know what? This was, I was actually thinking about this today, thinking there's no one else that's going to celebrate us apart from ourselves, right?
Right? I mean, and I just look at it like this, like if you can celebrate yourself, then you can truly authentically celebrate others.
That is so true. And it's weird because I remember, when my podcast was first getting launched, and I was posting on social media, and just, I don't know, there was a couple of comments that I got, when you just take things to heart, when they're like, there's nothing wrong with with self-celebration, but make sure that you're constantly selling. And I was thinking that, I don't know, to me, that's not, I don't know. I didn't find that a very productive comment.
No, if you're happy in your purpose and you're creating for the good of others, that selling part, quote unquote, will come without even.
Exactly.
Right? Because you're actually creating something that can help another man or woman.
Yes, exactly. People who maybe at the start of the journey that we've come from. Yeah, who may need that bit of inspiration, that support, a bit of coaching, a bit of mentoring.
Right.
Wow, yeah.
And that's what led me to put my book together, because it although it only covers a little bit of my journey, but it's what was needed to just have. It's like you're reaching out your hand. Right. And you're taking your story and the foods, like the recipes and the lessons and the failures, and you're putting it all together in one place, and you're giving that to another woman, because that's going to be her roadmap now.
There's something special about that. Yeah. But tell us then. So tell us about, where you originate from and what led you along this journey.
Okay. Well, originally, I'm from the Fiji Islands, so I'm Fijian. I came to the beautiful land of Canada when I was about 6 with my parents. And, life happens, and you go through learnings as a child, and understanding, how your parents' relationship works and seeing that manifest. And of course, without getting too much into it, the inner child work really needs to be done later as well. So you go through phases of experiencing and absorbing things, living out your life. And for me, it's almost like we get groomed by our parents as women.
Yeah.
As South Asian women, that, when you come to a certain age, you have your education, you get married, you have children, and that's it.
Oh, yeah. Happy
right?
ever after.
Happy ever after. So I'm going to go there. Happy ever after. And that's basically the environment I grew up in. And it took me a while to work through my feelings with that, with my parents, because, not to throw them under the bus, but that's how they lived. And so they taught us what they knew. And
Absolutely.
Which is, now, and then it came to this part in my journey where I did that. I got an education, I got married, had a child, everything was as is, but still inside just wasn't content. But having my son truly got me into the health and wellness industry, because of course, when we have children or someone to take care of, right, we want to give them the best environment, the best opportunities when it comes to health, fitness, and longevity.
Yeah.
So that's when I started to do my own research, and I was always in a fitness fanatic. Like I used to run 6 days a week before children, because that's what you do when you don't have kids.
Yeah.
you think of ways to spend your time.
Yeah. So were you doing marathons?
So important. No, I actually, what? Interestingly enough, I have yet to do a marathon, which I should. I have had some people ask me if I have, but I haven't. But maybe in the future. But I used to. I used to run for my own purpose, and it was my form of meditation.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So I did that, and after I had my son, eventually I went back into running and just researching and about certain foods and the development of the human brain and the nervous system, and of course mental health. All of that ties in together. And and then eventually after that, marriage went a little sour.
As it does,
normally,
yeah.
as it does. There's two people. I always say there's three people in a relationship: you, your partner, and the relationship itself.
Interesting.
So, yeah. So, not everybody was getting along.
Yeah. Different journeys.
Journeys and things.
I get you.
And some things in my marriage really left me feeling empty and unseen.
Okay.
Right. Really not, we are all taught that we are superwomen. The whole superwoman syndrome, that we can do it all. We can take care of the household, take care of the children, take care of the marriage. Oh, yeah. Goodness. No, it's like a straight up ticket to adrenal fatigue, first of all, and mental fatigue. So, but we are taught that, and it's not that, and we're moving more and we're further away from it. So that was pretty much my journey. So after the end of the marriage, I said, well, what do I do now? Who am I now? Because my entire life, my entire identity was tied to what I was.
Yeah. A wife, a mother.
A wife, a mother, a sister, a daughter. Yeah. There was no me in there.
So true. Identity crisis.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Because we are always taught to give and give, and the understanding, okay, just the fitness and nutrition wasn't enough to give to myself.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. It has to go a little bit deeper. It of course plays a huge part, but there's still the identity, the self-acceptance.
Yeah.
Right. When we talk about self-love, the big part of self-love is self-acceptance. That's what it is.
Yeah. Accepting.
Of course, it's great to get your nails and hair done and all of that stuff. Oh. That's great too. Not going to undermine that, but it's just the real work. So after that, I really went on a journey to locate where I was within me.
Okay.
Not really to find myself, because I don't think we're not lost. We just forget about ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah.
We're still in there.
Yeah, we are. Oh yeah, that is so true, because I remember somebody got me a book saying, you know, we're not here to find ourselves, we're here to create ourselves.
Yes.
Yeah.
And we can recreate ourselves as many times as we want.
Yeah.
And that's the fun part of living, right? Is to recreate, and you have your next chapter. So that led me to the work that I do now. I specifically work with women with nutrition and mental health, and women that want to transform their life. They either they're leaving a marriage or not, or they're within a marriage and they're trying to find themselves again and connected to their body. I dealt with body dysmorphia as well, especially after my pregnancy. That was a difficult time as well. So definitely working on, no longer looking at the scale, but really about feeling and living in your body. Because I was a fitness trainer at a point in my life as well.
Right.
So very much centered around like, how many pounds am I losing, calories. I did the whole dieting, the diet pills, everything.
Yeah. Been there, done that as well.
Right. So, and now at the age of 42, I was like, how old? 42. At the age of 42, I am learning to be present. I'm finally present in my body.
It does. And it takes that long to get to this stage, doesn't it? Wow. I know. Yeah. Because likewise, 41. And I can say in my 20s, I was just a lost puppy. And then in my 30s, I was just making so many mistakes. And finally, I feel like, okay, I think I've learned a bit, a thing or two. And I released my book last year as well. And that really helped in my healing. But yeah, absolutely hit the nail on the head. And, we'll talk about trauma shortly, but just, the whole kind of eating disorder, it's very much linked to someone who has undergone trauma. So was it the same with you, or did that?
Yeah. The emotional eating, and even orthorexia, like it was such a big part of control for me.
Okay.
Such a big part of control, because when we can't control what's going on outside, we control what goes inside us.
Yeah.
And the most silent thing I could control was what I ate.
Okay.
And how much of it I ate. And it dawned on me one day, and I shared this in my book as well, is that I was sitting at a dinner table at a restaurant years ago. At that time, I was a fitness trainer as well. And I was sitting there with a group of women, and nobody had ordered. Everybody was waiting for me to order, because they wanted to know, what does the fitness trainer eat?
Oh goodness, really?
It's one of those things where it's like, I can't eat a cake because the chef is at the table.
Judgment. I know, that's a hell lot of pressure.
It is a hell lot of pressure. And right then and there, I had to just take a moment. And that was a milestone in my life as well, because I said, if women are looking to me for guidance and acceptance, what am I showing them? They don't know the chaos that's happening within me. But they only see the outside. And the outside, they see, this woman who eats well, who trains, all of these other things, but they don't know. And they're going on something that's outside. I'm like, that's not the mark I want to leave in this world. Absolutely not.
Wow. That's really special. That I'm so glad you've said that, because you're right. We're in this world now where it's all about exterior, how you look, getting fillers and what have you. Oh my goodness, it's so exhausting. But then you just you talk to these people and like, soulless, come on, where are you? You just want to shake
right
them.
Yes. And then the first thing you hear is, well, you have no problems.
Oh,
but we all do. We all have those struggles, and we all have to speak up. Look at how beautifully you're doing what you're doing. Like, it has to start from speaking up and sharing our voice and connecting and saying that it doesn't matter what you are on the outside. It's really inside. You have to look deeper.
Yeah. And it's that question, what happened to you? What is it that you're trying to hide, or what is it that you need to talk about? Because yeah, you're right. I think a lot of people, they're still, they feel quite vulnerable, and they're still not at the stage of awareness. Even they don't even know that anything's wrong with them. But we've had a few conversations in previous podcasts where a few specialists have said that everybody has had some sort of trauma. It's
Yes.
huge. Yeah.
Yes. Even the ones that think they haven't, but then they have these major blocks in their life. It comes up at some point, it'll sneak up. And
yeah. So I'm interested in the nervous system because, again, this has come up quite a lot in me. Actually, I actually went to have some Bowen therapy done, and she literally just put her hands on my spinal cord. She's like, "Oh my God, you're just a pack of nerves."
Yes.
Wow, right? I'm just thinking, whoa, is it that evident? Right, it is.
It's all stress management. I mean, what stress can do to our body, and the constant thoughts and images that goes through our mind. We're constantly in that fight, flight, or freeze mode. Right. And especially as we talk about for women, we do take on so much that we actually don't have the time to really focus on our parasympathetic system, which is our rest and digest and relax. Right. Yeah. So imagine if you're constantly functioning, your sympathetic system is constantly going. That's your blood pressure is going, you're piling things onto your to-do list, tick, move on. That affects our digestive system, right? So, and our gut brain axis, we've all heard of, they're so interconnected. And if you're taking nutrients in, but your digestive system isn't really working because your nervous system isn't getting the chance to actually allow your body to rest and digest, then you run into nutritional deficiencies. So then you have some women saying, okay, well, I'm stressed out, but I'm eating properly and things are not happening.
Interesting.
Right? So it's so connected. And I always say to women, like, when you master your nervous system, when you master how to calm your body down and to reduce things off your list and really focus on what your body needs, that's when you start to get control of your body in a healthy way. That's when you lower blood sugar level in your body. Then you don't get the sugar cravings, right? You don't. And a lot of times women feel like, well, why am I always so angry? I'm so angry. I hear this from so many women. I'm so angry. I'm like, okay, well, let's break it down. Let's see what's happening in your body. Let's see what are thoughts that are going through your mind. Are you getting a chance to have, at least an hour, half an hour, even 15 minutes? Some women don't even have 15 minutes to themselves. And if they do, they pack it with something else. I've been there. I'm calling myself out. So I'm calling everybody out.
We're all the same. It's like, right? Like social media, like, let's just say we kind of blocked out 45 minutes to watch some Netflix, but you're just on your phone and then 45 minutes is gone. You think, oh my God, my rest time is gone.
Exactly. And our brain is responsible for secreting enzymes in our digestive system as well. So if we're constantly in a stressful, chaotic state inside, then you see a lot of enzymes that need to be released aren't. And then so we get into IBS or leaky gut, and you've heard those terms, right? So then your gut brain, like the actual mucous membrane, it's not functioning.
No. Okay.
Right. And that affects your mental health.
Yeah, it will do. And the thyroid gland, obviously the endocrine system, that plays a huge part as well, doesn't it?
Oh, yes, absolutely. They're just all connected. And for women, I would say, we're a walking, talking hormone.
Yeah. Yeah, we are.
We really are. And it's amazing because when I work with women and they're finally at that state where they can understand, make sense of why they're feeling the emotions that they are feeling, and to change the way you look at food, and even the simplest thing of just sitting down and consciously chewing. How many times I find that nowadays people eat just like how we drive. You go from point A
Yeah.
to point B and you're like,
So
how did I get here?
Yeah.
You just eat and you're thinking, what did I even eat?
What did
And it
I
takes
eat?
right?
Yeah,
And it takes a while
exactly.
for your brain to actually register that, to release the
Wow.
hormones that you're actually full. So we could just continuously be
So
eating
true. Yeah.
mindlessly. And
Mm.
that's where emotional eating comes in, because no matter how much you eat, you're never full. And
Yeah.
then being a registered holistic nutritionist, you know, I look at their life as
Okay.
well,
Yeah.
right? And seeing like what's happening in their life, and if they've gone through any traumatic experiences, or if there's still memory resonating that they
Wow.
need to work through as well. But
Okay.
definitely it's it all comes back to just awareness and learning to have awareness. We can't just have snap our fingers and become aware.
Oh my goodness. It's
I
so
wish it was that
daunting.
easy.
I know. So daunting, isn't it? Oh
I
my
wish it was
goodness.
that easy, but
Takes ages. Yeah.
it takes ages. And you know what? It's a daily conscious practice.
Yeah. Yeah, I always say, I think what we need to do is, we just get stuck in doing mode. So it's just kind of getting a bit creative. I mean, for me, like I said, writing really helped me, but a lot of people, they might express their emotions through art or, other ways, any types of creativity. But I think just like you said with your running as well, the fact that you're able to use that as the time to meditate, you're just kind of gathering your thoughts. So I think it's just little practical things like this that we can start to instill into our daily lives.
Yeah. And what brings us joy? We forget as adults what joy even means. We postpone joy. We say that if I do X, Y, Z, then I can enjoy myself. Then I can allow joy into my life. And I'm like, that's a really miserable way to live.
That is. Yeah.
Why would you want to withhold joy, even when things are falling together? I like to say falling together than falling apart. So say when things are falling together, you have to still see the joy in that.
Okay. Yeah, you're right.
Right?
Yeah. And again, I think women, we're known for it, especially, when we have to raise our kids, look after the household. Yeah. And it's like, oh my God, I can't have a night out. I've got so much to do.
Yes. And being a single parent, it's not easy. And you do have to ask for help. And you have to have patience, not with just what's around you, but patience within yourself. Trust the process. You really have to. And these are all things that we hear, we read in books. It's just a whole another ball game when you work with a coach and you're actually putting these things into action. Because we all know what we should be doing. We all know. It's out there. I mean, there's books, Google search, God knows, like anywhere, you can find it. There's a like amazing podcast, like it's all there. But doing the work is actually sitting your butt down and saying, I have to face what I've been running away from.
Yes, you're right. Because I think a lot of us, I did it for many, many years. Just, I was stuck in that, just listening and reading, and then I wasn't actually applying anything, So I had to pay thousands of pounds and go to all these seminars and get loads of coaching and stuff.
I hear you. Sometimes you need that to kind of hit you over the head. You're like, all right, okay. But it is, we are a society that loves to consume information.
Yeah.
Right. We think that the more we know, the more we collect information, the better we will be. No, it's more action and practice and drive will take you to a better place. Right. I mean, sometimes you hear people, they can spend a whole day just watching motivational videos on YouTube. And, there's nothing wrong with watching motivational videos on YouTube. I do it too sometimes.
Yeah.
But there comes a time where you need to get beyond that.
Absolutely. Yes. And that is a big step in itself, thinking, oh God, I need to actually do some work now.
It's scary.
It is, because you don't know what's going to, whatever's going to come up. It's like, oh my goodness,
Yeah. Well, we don't want to feel uncomfortable. We are comfortable where we are. And that's why the nervous system kicks in, and it's like, it wants you to stay comfortable. It doesn't like change.
Okay. Yeah.
Right. But change is comfortable. I mean, one of the greatest things I hear from women when they start working with me, and it's usually about the second or third week, which has been pretty consistent. They don't feel like themselves. Like things are changing. I'm uncomfortable. This is not me. This is, I can't connect to things around me. And they think of it as a red flag, but what's happening is the way you've been living is in comfort, right? So now you're starting to become aware of things that weren't working around you.
Yeah.
And it's amplified and you feel uncomfortable.
Yes, this is it.
Yeah, I remember the first time I worked with a coach for myself. I remember, it was about, I think, second or third week. I called her on the phone one evening and I said, I can't do this. No, this is not me. I cannot do this. I don't care how much I have paid to keep the money. I'm done.
Oh, no. What was she making you do?
Oh, just, stuff. Just looking at myself in the mirror, eye to eye, even that was uncomfortable. I couldn't do it. That was like the thing. I was like, I cannot look at myself in the mirror because that reminds me of all the things that I've been, and I was running away from what really needed to be done. And
Yes.
I will forever thank her, grateful for her in my life, because if she had said, okay, that's fine, and hung up, I don't think I would be where I am right now. I think I mean, eventually I would, but it would take me longer.
Yes. Yeah.
To get
exactly.
there. But it does, and it is uncomfortable. And it's just after the fourth or fifth week is when we start to really get settled in our new skin. But it's a journey, right?
It is. And there's been quite a lot of different biohacks that have been released in the past, like the cold showers, and just getting out your comfort zone and just doing something that's out of your comfort zone every day. To get you in that momentum.
Yes. I mean, here in Vancouver, we get so much rain. So the one thing that makes me so uncomfortable, because being a woman who's born on a tropical island, I don't like the rain. No. I hate being cold. But when it rains out here, I purposely push myself to go for a run.
Oh, fantastic.
Because it gets you out of your comfort zone. You feel the rain, you feel the cold. It literally wakes your body up and your brain. It just, you get things firing, and it's running. And even sometimes in the cold has been the most creative times of my life, because basically everything I've created has come as a thought while I'm running.
Oh, wow. It is. And it's all about physiology. And I think a lot of us, we kind of, we don't even realize how important it is, to look after our bodies and to keep active.
Yes. Yeah. And each one of us, that's the beautiful thing about holistic wellness, is our bio-individuality. We're all so different. And we really have to start honoring our difference and how unique we are. And we to not compare ourselves to somebody else's journey.
Yeah, exactly. Right. Yeah. And again, there's so much comparison out there. Yeah, this is it. I think, we need to start to accept ourselves for who we are, accept our uniqueness and individualities, and just appreciate ourselves more and celebrate ourselves.
Celebrate that. Yeah. We're very aligned. It's all about celebrating. I mean, even like right now, I'm sure you've heard of Mel Robbins. She came out with the high five challenge.
Oh, yeah.
So I've been doing that. And it is, I mean, the first couple of days I was like, this is so awkward. I'm looking at myself and high-fiving myself, but I do it with the left hand, because again, it's the right hand we're so used to. Brush my teeth, high five, and
there's something in that.
It works. Go figure.
It does, doesn't it? High five.
High five.
Check out Mel Robbins, everyone.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Absolutely love her. But that's the thing, having these amazing inspirational like mentors and books out there too, but it all goes down to, when you have all this information, what are you going to do with it? Just like, you know, with your book and with my book, we have this and people can have it in their hands, but what do you do with it then?
Exactly, right. Yeah. Are you going to go and seek help? Are you going to take that next step forward? Absolutely.
Exactly. So that's why when I put this book together, I wanted to give them a little taste of what it's like to have me right by their side.
Okay. Yeah. I wanted you to go in more about your book and, you know, tell us about it. Yeah.
So, well, it's got 28 of my favorite recipes. That's like that. I love it. And it's not a diet recipe at all. You're enjoying foods that are going to nourish your body, give you energy, prevent fatigue, mental health, and of course for your nervous system as well. It is plant-based, but again, options to add meat if you do eat that, but it is plant-based. I talk about body image, so struggles that I personally went through, and how I worked through them. So there's also journal entries here too. There's little life lessons that I have in there as well, action steps, to-dos, and I'm trying to think, but just everything a woman needs to start her journey.
Wow. Okay. So it's like a do it all. Yeah.
Do it all. And I've dedicated the book to all the women that I've worked with, and of course my son. So his the back of his head is, I mean, not his face, but the back of his head is in the book, and he's just like, that's me. I'm like, yes.
That is so special. So what age did you start to kind of look out for the nutrition? Because like my son's 3 and he doesn't even touch a broccoli. So
They go through that phase. For my son, I started right when he was born, because nutrition, I was starting to look into nutrition prior to, but I see that he did go through a phase where he was eating all these amazing foods I was prepping for him, and then all of a sudden he just stopped and he just became so picky. So in that case, what I did is I prepared it and I just left it in front of him.
Oh, that was it.
I didn't say you have to eat it. Okay. I just left it, and I would eat it. And if he wanted to, he would eat it. And if he didn't want to, he didn't have to.
Okay.
But he would just, like, sometimes he wouldn't even touch it. And I just had to be okay with that.
Yeah.
Had to be okay with it.
Okay.
And then eventually, and I started doing it. And then eventually he started to eat different vegetables. And now he has some specifics that he doesn't like. Like, he doesn't like egg. He won't touch it. But then there's this other part to it too, that sometimes for a child, their intuitive self knows what's good for them and not.
Okay. Right.
So there's a little bit of that too. It's like such a fine line, right? But like looking at what phase he's in his age, like right now he's 10. So thinking, okay, if he's going to go into his teenage years, his hormones are changing now. What can I do to balance his hormones? What can I do to support his growth? So
I love that,
so when I work with some clients, sometimes I suggest things for their children as well, because it's all depending on the phase they're in. So 0 to 7 is really when you're putting that foundation, right? So you still have time.
Okay, brilliant.
you got lots of time. You got lots of time, mama.
Well, broccoli, right? Yeah.
Start with the broccoli. Just put it in front of him, and maybe it's not broccoli. Like maybe like my son, he hates cauliflower, but he'll eat the broccoli. Oh, okay. Won't even touch too many root vegetables, but he'll eat kale till the cows come home. So it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you can choose your battles.
Yeah. Okay. Choose your battles.
I was like, you don't want to eat the cauliflower? Fine. Have the kale bread. I'm happy.
I love that. Yeah.
You gotta have fun with it, right?
Yeah. And like, we spoke earlier, and you said you were inspired with the Conscious Parenting by Dr. Shefali.
Oh,
She's
her.
great, isn't she?
Oh my
Wow.
God. She has a huge part to play with where I'm in my life as well. And again, of course, connected to my son. That's why when he came about is really when I became a conscious person.
Right. Interesting.
Right.
Yeah.
And then you
Okay.
go from being the conscious parent to now I'm that conscious woman, even to the
Okay.
point of, what type of partner am I to my partner?
Okay.
What type of parent am I? What type of friend am I? And who do I want in my circle of friends? It's all conscious decisions that you learn to make in your life. And sometimes, it's not pretty what you have to face, but
Yeah, it's a lonely road until you find your peer group, right?
yeah.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
finding. It's like, yeah, sometimes I just feel like, oh, people don't understand me, and only the, enlightened people do. But
Yeah.
then it's like, how many people are enlightened,
Exactly. I mean, this is one thing I speak to my son, and sometimes I speak to my friends about it too. I'm like, not everybody's going to like you.
No,
It's
exactly.
just the truth. Not
Yeah.
everybody's going to like you, not because they don't like you. It's because they're not aware of themselves.
Interesting. Yeah.
Right. And like
Yeah.
this, and I don't know. Yeah. So,
No, absolutely. And I think that can really hurt people, especially coming from a people pleasing.
oh,
Yeah, been there, done that.
anybody listening to this after, they're going to, everybody.
People please. Oh my
Again, we're
God.
all conditioned. We're all conditioned in our childhood to be kind. I mean, to be nice, to be
Yeah.
nice, to let others go first, and to give. And we're just so groomed for that until we start to want things for ourselves, and then we feel selfish. But it's really feeling self-full.
Yeah. I
It's
love
not
that.
being selfish, right?
Yes, you have to be selfful. Yeah.
Yeah.
That is.
So.
And it's interesting as well because we grow up thinking that we need everyone to like us, but then what I've realized, what happens with that is that you compromise who you are, and you're not able to be your authentic self. Whereas
Right.
I'm at a stage now, I feel so authentic that if people aren't valuing me, or if they're not really kind of, if they don't have the best for me, because there's a lot of people that want to see others go down, then I'm quite happy to just say, I don't think that I need you in my life right now.
Yeah.
But then we get classed as the outsiders. We get classed as the the nasty ones, the ones who might be up our own arses.
Oh yeah, we've heard it all, right? Like we hear it all, but it's a decision you have to make to, like, how do you want to live your life? Who do you want around to share it? Yes, time is finite, but we also need to learn how to use time.
Yeah.
Because time is energy, and we're depleted of energy because we give it to everybody. We haven't learned to be selective, even with ourselves.
Yeah.
Even with ourselves as well. And the one thing I try to teach my son is, and this was a huge awakening for me in life, is it doesn't matter if you're a nice person, you have to be a kind person. Anybody can be nice. Anyone can be nice. Everybody has the ability to be nice.
Okay.
Right. And the way I understand it is that sometimes people will do nice things to get something as well. But kindness is a different trait.
It's okay.
That's the way it, like.
Yeah, no, I've never, to be honest, first time I'm hearing this, and I find it fascinating. So what is the difference between being nice and kind?
So this is the way I explain it to my son. So when he has a new teacher this new school year, I always say, is so-and-so kind? And he says, no, he's nice. And I said, okay, that's great, because everybody has the ability to be nice because it's what we've been taught. But kindness comes from understanding self.
Okay.
And it's what you want to give back. So by what we were saying was, when you learn to celebrate yourself, you learn to
Mm.
authentically celebrate others, rather than, like you said, like everybody wants to see somebody fail, or like some people want to see some people
Yeah.
fail. But in that case, it's easy for them to be nice, to actually experience that. But kindness comes from the inside. Kindness
Yeah.
comes from, I'm hurting, but I'm also celebrating you.
Yes. And there's a lot of strength in
Does that make sense? I'm like,
Yeah.
I hope I explained that well, but it's that's the way anyone can be nice, but
Yeah.
kindness comes from truly understanding and being aware of yourself.
Then
It doesn't come from a place of jealousy. It doesn't come from
Yeah.
a place of hatred. It doesn't come from a place of trauma and reaction. It comes from being in a state of truly being and seeing the other person.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. I love that. Yeah. And it's basically wanting the best for the world, wanting the best for people. And it comes from love, authentic, genuine place of love. And you're right. And I think there's a lot to be said about that. I mean, I hear kindness and empathy all the time because I love Gary Vee.
Oh, yes.
He's amazing, isn't he?
Love is honesty. So that's a kind man. He's not nice, but he's a kind man.
He's amazing. I mean, it's like the amount that he's giving out, all of this, like apps, you're right. It's just, he tells everyone about schooling system.
Oh, exactly. He will well, it's like what you were saying, when you mentioned that when we are authentic and we speak our truth and we're in our true self, then some people may not like it. And a lot of times what you hear is, well, she's not nice.
Yeah.
Because she said, that she cut me out of her life, or she's not nice, or something like that.
Yeah.
But absolutely. Then you're like, no, I'm being kind. Like I'm being kind, and I'm telling you this out of kindness, because I'm saying yes to myself and no to what you have to offer. So you are your authentic self.
Yeah. I'm putting myself first for a change. It's like, yeah. There's a lot of strength in that. So put yourself first, everyone.
Put yourself first. Learn to say yes, and rather than saying I don't want to say no, just say I want to say yes to myself.
Yeah. So you probably know that this show is for survivors of abuse and trauma. I just wanted to know, from your point of view, what advice would you give for the survivors out there who may currently be suffering, or who may have had previous sufferings and they're trying to, gain that awareness?
Oh, I would say what I used to say to myself is that if you, I'm going to do this without crying.
Oh, no.
It's good because it's tears of joy. It'll be tears of joy.
Wow.
That no matter how bad it gets, there's somebody out there that understands you, and don't lose hope.
Wow.
No matter how bad it gets, to the point where you can't even get out of the bed or off the floor, that is still not the end for you. There's somebody out there that wants to hear you. There's hope out there, and we are not alone.
We're not. Yeah, that is special. And again, I think that is really an important message, because a lot of the times, we feel we're alone, and it just takes that one person to believe in you. And that's it. Like for me, it was my therapist that I had, Marie. I speak about her in my book, and she doesn't even realize still the impact she's had, but yet, she's read my book. But literally just by seeing her and opening up to her, she made me realize that I'm not actually, the bad person that I thought I was. I was a consequence of all the bad things that were happening to me. That's special. And I guess this is why me and you are out there. We're out there to be this support. So, tell us about, what services you provide and how you can help survivors.
Well, I do one-on-one coaching. So I work with women privately on holistic health and the mental well-being, stress management. I also offer group coaching, where I've built a community of women and support, which is just absolutely beautiful. I love it, being part of that community. I also, this year, I also started teaching other health and wellness coaches to do what I do.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah,
Okay.
that I haven't really publicized as much. So it's, but it's out there, and I'm building that slowly, which I'm really excited about. And I do Zoom seminars as well. I teach courses on health and wellness and personal power and personal development, because it goes hand in hand. Even as an entrepreneur, I work with women who are entrepreneurs that their health is suffering, because we're taught, the more you do, the better it is, right? You can sleep tomorrow, you work today. And that's a straight ticket to
the grave.
The grave, pretty much, all of the things, all of the above. And I teach them how to connect with their health again, because if you don't have your health, what's the point of creating a life?
Exactly. Health before wealth. Yeah.
Health before wealth. So that's what I do. So I have group coaching, and I do private coaching as well. I have a mentorship program, so I mentor some younger women as well, and they're younger, in their 20s.
Nice. Okay. Yeah.
In their 20s, because when I hear from them, if they could learn what we know in our 40s, they can, I was saying this to my partner once, and I said, I want to teach women what I know now.
Yeah.
Ones that are in their 20s, because if they knew what we know, they could rule the world.
They really, that's exactly.
And then he's like, you know what? Why not? I'm like, okay. And then literally you ask for it and it shows up, and I am so grateful.
Yeah, that's, I swear, if I feel like the universe has been giving us the same kind of messages, because a couple of days ago, that's exactly what I was thinking. It was mainly about myself, thinking, wow, if I had my brain, my motivation and drive and my resilience, back when I was 20, I would be someplace else right now,
Right? We'd be living on Mars.
Exactly.
But that's the way women in our chapter of life can give back to the community, because I think that's the most important thing. Yes, we want to give to women where we are right now. We want to share our journey, but how do we take what we know and give back to the community?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, millennials and generations, they're a totally different breed to us. So what do you think are the challenges that they face right now?
Oof. I would say the biggest thing, social media.
Yeah, it is.
Social media.
Technology.
Technology.
It's taken over.
And, honestly, if you don't know how to use it, it can become a weapon.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It definitely is. Understanding how to protect your time.
Yeah.
Your energy, not getting sucked into comparison mode, judgment. It's all out there, and social media can be that. Not to knock social media, because of course that's how we met and how we can connect with everyone to do our work. But there is a healthy way of learning that, but it's scary out there.
Yeah, it is. And I know that, a lot of relationships are built online these days. And it's, I don't know, like for me, I'm thinking, authenticity. Especially online dating. Oh my goodness.
Oh my God, that's a whole another topic.
God forbid. Yeah, we'll do another video on that.
We'll do another video online. Oh my God, yeah. As a single mom, as a single parent, you go through your ups and downs, but I'm grateful for where I am now to really appreciate my partner. And we met authentically. Not online or anything. So it's out there, women. If you're listening and you're doubtful, it is out there.
He is out there. Yeah.
He's out there.
And just ask the universe, right? And just have faith in yourself. I think that's the big thing as well. And, just to appreciate yourself. And yeah, absolutely. Do you know what? It's been amazing having you on. And I'm quite interested to know, what you have in store for the next year or so.
Oh, well, I'm going to be starting my second book next year, which it's going to be very heartfelt. It's going to be about the journey of the woman.
Okay, nice.
In her 40s. the
Okay.
awakening of a woman. So I'm working
Wow.
on that. I'm going to be going deeper into mentorship and coaching other health and wellness coaches. So definitely that's a developing area for me right now. And with my private coaching, things are changing a little bit. So there's some changes, but all positive changes. And at the end of the day, I want to reach out more in the community now that things are opening up more after, I can't even say after pandemic, because I feel like we're still in it.
Yeah.
But now that things are opening up, doing maybe more of in-person seminars, getting women together, and I'm behind the scenes working on a body image campaign right now as well.
Wow.
So lots happening for next year.
It is. You're just flying, and yet you're, still being an amazing mother to your 10-year-old and a partner now.
Trying. I'm trying.
It's funny because we started off the show about this Wonder Woman that we're made to be, but hello, I think I'm talking to her.
Yeah. But in a way where Wonder Woman loves taking vacations, we gotta take vacations. And that's what was so important, especially as a parent. I said, I want to build a business where I can help other women and give back to the community, but still be present in my life to enjoy the life I want to create.
Yeah.
Right.
So
and you have to, and it is, and all jokes aside, it is hard work. It is. If you want to create something, you have to put in the hours, but you have to be strategic about it.
Yes, exactly. Absolutely. Like, I am so dedicated now to my days off where I will literally switch off, and if I get an email come through, I don't even register it until I'm ready, because I know that time's so important for me. Whereas before, emails used to come through and I just be like, I need to get back to this, but now I'm thinking, what's the rush? Why is the rush?
Yes, yeah, because we are like just geared to respond so quickly. Like we live in a very reactive state.
Yes, we do.
Very reactive state.
Nervous energy. And it's the sympathetic, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
You want the parasympathetic. You want that calming energy to rest and digest and renew your body. It all comes from that. The calmer you are, the more focused you can be.
Wow. It is.
On most days. Yeah. We're still women at the end of the day, right?
So where can my listeners or watchers find you?
They can find me on Facebook, Ashika Lessani on Facebook, Instagram, I'm Ashika Lessani Wellness. I'm on LinkedIn, Pinterest, just kind of getting there, just kind of feeling that ground, but definitely LinkedIn, Instagram, and Facebook.
Perfect. And I shall add the links on the podcast and the YouTube as well for everyone to contact Ashika if you have any questions about what we discussed today, or if you'd like to find out more about her journey, or even join one of her courses or coaching packages. And please do get in touch with her.
Thank you. They can also find me on my website too, just ashikalasani.com.
Oh yeah, lovely website. I love it. So
thank you.
Yeah, good work there. And honestly, thank you so much. It's been an absolute honor. I'm so glad that you've been on, because I've learned a lot from you already. And I think, what you're doing out there, it's so required for all of the females in our world. And just to understand that, we don't need to be the cleaner, the mother, the sister, the partner, the career woman. Oh my goodness, it's exhausting even thinking about all the roles that we have to play. But we don't need to, right?
No, you don't need to. I mean, the option is there, but you don't need to.
Yeah.
We don't have to be so many places all at once.
Yeah, I think we need to just go within more. So just, take some time out now is my advice, and just relax, do a bit of meditation, or do something that you enjoy. Just make some time for some self-care.
Bring some joy. Thank you so much, Anu. This was I had so much fun talking to you. I knew you earlier. It's been such a blessing to come across you on social media and to follow you and see all the work that you're doing in your community, and I want to look a little bit more into your book as well.
Thank you.
And just keep doing what you're doing and the light that you're shining. I can feel it from all the way in Canada.
Oh, likewise, girl. We are the light workers. So I think, it's nice when we can all connect. And thank you, Facebook, for connecting us.
Right? Yes. Thank you, Facebook. Thank you, social media.
Yeah. We love you.
We love you.
Oh, brilliant. And on that note, we're going to have to end this talk today. And thank you again for watching and listening. And I will be back on the next episode. So stay tuned, stay blessed, and namaste.